Hey guys and gals, let's take a look at the Base and Rocket Launchpad by LEGO City Space. This is set number 60434, contains 1,422 bricks, and retails for $134.99. And honestly, this looks like we get a bunch of stuff here. It's like a spaceship, and this must be the base, and we got ourselves some kind of Land Rover. That's the minifigures on the top. Not too bad. And here's what it looks like on the back of the box. So this appears that it opens up and we get to explore the innards. And looks like we get all sorts of stuff. This looks pretty fun. And I'm by all means not into LEGO space, but this looks cool. But how cool is it? Well, let's take a look. Now let's open this up, and I'm not going to do the whole unboxing on this. I'm just going to pour out the bags, but if you want to see what's in the bags, I'll have all that on my second channel. And let's see what kind of goodies are in here. Alrighty, well, I see some stuff. These sets are getting pretty big, and I have a feeling this is going to have some stickers. So I'm already getting prepared. Looks like we got that rust orange color for these ramps, so obviously we see those, and these are loosely packed too. I've got a pair of 6x16s and an 8x16 plate, and several numbered bags. I don't know how many numbers are on here. I don't even know because I can't even find the building guides. So here they are right here. Alrighty, where's those paper bags at, LEGO? Oh, and you got it glued too. Wow. Well, that's not too bad. Alright, let's see what we got in there. Right, anything else hiding in there? Nope. Let's take a look. So, well, we already know bags 2 through 7 are in that one. It tells us at the bottom of the book. And that is a little saturated there. Let's turn that down for you. There you go. And let's see here. Well, found bag 10. So this is possibly a modular build. And bags 8 and 9. And we have bag 1 right here, or booklet 1. So there's 4 manuals in here. And so just by looking at this is modular. So that's up to the parent to figure out how that's supposed to be divided up. Oh, we got stickers. Well, this is not as bad as those Monkey Kid sets that I get. And if that's really all there is for 1,422 bricks, that's not bad at all. I can survive through that. And let me take a look. How many bags were there again? Just 10? That's exactly what there is. So I don't know how I'm going to break this set down into filming. May just do a couple of bags, maybe just do bags 1 through 5 in one build. But then again, I have to split a manual. Let's take a look one more time here before we do. How would you break this down here? Alright, so this one booklet alone just has 6 things. So if I have to break this down into sections, probably just do bags 1 through 4, and come back and do 5, 6, 7 in the second installment, and then 8, 9, and 10 in the last installment. So that's probably how I'm going to do it. Well, I'm going to head over to the second channel and build this real quick, probably in several installments, take a few days. And then we'll have to come back here with the magic of YouTube, and I'll show you what it looks like after it has been assembled. Here we have the space base and the rocket ship with launchpad. Now this is not a bad set, especially when it's put together. It looks pretty playable. Take a 360 spin tour here. And there's a lot of things to do, and don't worry, we're going to take a close-up tour in a bit. We got a little hatch door. This does open up. And this thing does open up to have access into the interior. And this is one of those sets that just doesn't quite fit on the turntable, so we're just doing the whole 360, and then we're going to take a look at everything here. The first thing, we got the spaceship with launchpad. Here's the launchpad. It's very basic. And here we go. This does open up. got a little laboratory area, and this piece here does come off. So you can see inside there too. And the cockpit opens up as well. And it does seat a minifigure. We can set one of our astronauts in there. We'll put her in here. She can navigate it. Sometimes their helmets will fall off. It's hard to do all this stuff while holding it and setting the figures in here. Or you can just set them in there. There you go. And we'll take a closer look at that in a bit as well. And I'm going to leave everything open. Here's the launch pad. This is pretty basic. Set that off to the side. Got this little truck. Looks like a Land Rover. And this thing here is meant to raise and lower this. So we're going to a little handle back here, a little knob on this side. Let me get over here and show you. It'd be better if I do it this way. And yet you gotta love my reviews. They're all crude and raw. So this is right here what I'm going to rotate, that little knob right there. So you can actually drop this down on here. Now this does feel a bit stiff, but it does work. And you may have to help guide it onto the truck a bit. We'll just set it down. It doesn't snap, it just sets in there. And that's essentially what it does. And of course you can unhook this. That's if it wants to cooperate. And then you can set this inside the flatbed. And this vehicle here is also scaled for figures. If I can remember how to take it apart. And this is the most interesting part here. This thing does open up. I'm trying to remember how to swing it open. So the first thing is we got this little rock formation thing. And we'll take a look at that in the close-up as well. There's only so much you can look at here on here. You do get 6 minifigures, really cool for the play value, and 2 little alien creatures. We have them just sitting on the roof. And this does open up right here. This just comes out and you can actually see inside there. And this is the fun part, is opening this up. And, okay, well, you can take a nap then. And pretty much it is playable. So let me raise that up there. We don't want to be ripping things apart. And this does feel really stiff. So you do have a little eating area, maybe a little cafeteria, a laboratory, and a place for your space gear. And we have a tower on the top here. This does swing underneath it, and this does come off. So there's a little movable top. And this is all scaled for figures inside. Well, this thing's pretty large, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a closer look. Off to the left, we have this little droid. Here's 2 of our spacemen. There's a close-up of the little cafeteria. Sadly, those graphics are stickers. I wish those were printed. And right here is where we have place to store our space gear. And here's that door. Some kind of airlock. And this just slides back in here. It just has a little slot up there. You can drop that in. It's very loose, so very loose. Here's the other side. Here's a little laboratory. Microscope. There's this little airlock chamber here. And it does work with the spaceship. If you want, you can dock your spaceship onto that too. Here's a close-up of one of those aliens that likes to take a nap. You just snap right on those studs right there. These things do move around too, these little leveling areas. Not sure what these are called. Okay, you want to take a nap, I'll put you down there. So you can position those any way you want. Here's this little hatch here that does open up. And you can snap your cart from your spaceship into that. Here's the flatbed truck. This part was hooked onto the crane earlier. It can seat up to one minifigure. We can put the top back on. Now I got to put everything back on with one hand, and well, that fell on the floor. We'll get that later. Here's this thing with the gems. These guys are working hard. These are the other two minifigures. And you got this gear in the back, and if you rotate this, this will come apart. So we'll just turn that, and that just falls down, and I can reveal the secret gem in there. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do here. Lots of stuff. Now these do close back up. And this is a self-contained model. That means that when it's closed up, there's absolutely no holes whatsoever. Just snaps into place. If we look in there, pretty dark. I wish they had some way to put lights in there. It'd be pretty cool. Here's the tower. There's a close-up of the crane. So we can get that thing from the flatbed, and this just hooks right on there. Provided I can get it on there. There we go. Here's the observation tower. See if we can get up there and look. We got some computers and stuff in there. A lot of space. Let me see if we can rotate this around and take a look at it a bit better. These sets get so big they're almost hard to actually film. I usually film things in landscape mode, but this is more of a portrait type deal. And put the top back on it. Pretty seamless. Right now we can start moving things back and taking a look at all the other things. So here's the launch pad. We'll take a closer look at this. And a little battery pack there, and it just kind of goes up to this area. It goes into the void. And, well, what better ways to set the spaceship on there? It just rests right on these two spots here. Yeah, when these sets get pretty massive, it's almost hard to just set everything up with just one hand. Now this piece here does come off, and you can attach it to this hatch right here if you desire. Or you can just attach the spaceship to that if you want to. And let's take a look in there. Little cargo area, or a little spot to store passengers if you want to. And it does close up all the way. And our space gal is taking a nap. This piece here is printed. There was only like 6 stickers in this set. It wasn't too bad. Here, we'll just have you sit there. And then we'll put the top of the cockpit on. This is like transparent dark gray. Really nice. Now sadly some parts were scratched when I got this set. There we go. And we have one more minifigure I forgot to show. Older gentleman in that, so he must be the handyman. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of do the reviews and go with the flow on the fly here. I don't really like to script them. I've seen some guys where they'll actually have a script what they read off of. Except for name minifigures, you'll never see that on here. What it looks like under here. Just plate and brick construction. Give it one last tour. It looks really nice, and this is a finished off model, meaning that there's no open walls or anything. These are windows. What kind of planet would this be on? I don't know, I'm picturing more of a moon. It's too nice to put it on Mars. Here are my thoughts. Let's start my review with play value, and honestly there's plenty of things to do. As you saw in the tour, this opens up, you have full access to the interior as well as to the tower. You can take that off and put your minifigures in there. You got a working crane, you got a vehicle, you got an excavation site, you have several minifigures, you got a spaceship with the cargo area. There's just too many things to mention. So whoever gets this set, or you're thinking about buying this for yourself, there's just plenty of things to do. So play value is not short on this model. You've got plenty of things to play with on this set. Lots of stuff to do, lots of things to explore. So this is a really good model for that. Build quality, I'd say it's average to above average. I did have some pieces fall off. I think I had some that came off on the tower, and I don't think anything came off the spaceship, but for the most part it's a pretty sound build. This is meant to be played with. So I didn't really have anything like crumble apart, especially after it has been assembled. I haven't had anything flake apart, so not too bad there. Build experience is also pretty good. This was one of those sets that I could not put down. I looked at the box and I was like, I don't know, I'm not really into space, but after start building this, it's there, This is a really good model to build, and it kept my interest throughout the whole build. So it did keep an adult's interest. So definitely it's going to keep a child's interest as well. For city drop-in value, this is one of those builds that's just completely isolated, completely sealed up. There's no holes, there's no missing backs. This is something you could drop in your city theme. Or if you have a space theme, even better. This is just a complete model. This is almost like mock quality. It's just sealed. This is all complete. I mean, we took a tour of it, but look, there's no holes. And in addition to that, you can expand on this. Obviously, you got these extra things. So this right here possibly can be taken off, and you can put this on there too. There's just plenty of things to do here. You're not going to be short on play features on this set. Honestly, I'm really happy with it. It's a really nice model. There's just so much mock value with this. You can expand on this. The creators really thought this one out very well. Very well indeed. Now for collaborative build, everything is modular. So like this piece here is separate from the spaceship, separate from the launch pad, separate from the vehicle, and separate from this. So I'd say probably 4 to 5 builders can construct this set at the same time. I'd recommend just 2. One person builds this, another one builds all the accessories. It'd be a fun, collaborative build, a nice afternoon or weekend build. This would be a really fun set to put together. Now honestly, this is a set that I probably wouldn't have picked up at first, but now seeing it in person, I would recommend anybody who's not into space and looking for a really good detailed build, this is it. Like I said, this has got a lot of detail for what it is. And for me personally, I'm very pleased with this set. Now, for my score on this build, I have to give it an 8.5. Sadly. Why? I'm dinging just a little bit off the stickers and a little bit off for a few pieces that came off. The main issue is some of the parts in this were scratched. A couple of these pieces here were scratched, as well as this. Why LEGO doesn't package those up separately, I don't know. Or this set would have been probably a 9.8, but it's an 8.5 sadly because of the scratched elements. So that's my score with this build. But if you're looking for a really, really good set, this has got it covered here. There's plenty of things to do for any age. If you're into space, or you're thinking about getting into space, it's pretty good. Now for the price tag of $134.99, it does seem a bit steep, but that's about 10 cents a brick. But you got to remember, you're getting a fully playable model, you get several minifigures, and just plenty of things to do. If you're looking for something that has decent build quality and a really good build experience, here you go. But I want to know what you guys and gals think of this set.